In a world oversaturated with other people's opinions, what is needed now is more opinions! Alex and the Garbage Man!
To come in after that's done.
I don't know how many times I've seen that. Like I put it together, I change stuff around, I watch it again, I give it a day or two, I watch it again, and every time I love watching it. Just gets better and better every time.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't, I guess, yeah, like I love, the internet is great, Chadney. That is very true. It's so much fun.
It's fun. Is not it? Yes, it not is not fun. What?
The internet is fun. It's not as fun. It's fun. Have you seen my baseball?
Was that from Have you seen my baseball? Vanos Gaming. That's where I first heard that.
Oh, there's something about Mary.
Oh.
Frank Zippins!
Oh, that's right.
Have you seen my baseball? Have you seen my winner?
It's been like 20 years, 22 or 3 years since I've seen that movie. That was a lifetime ago.
My goodness, I can't even think. Well, just to think about anything like that. What did something came on the radio. Like, yeah, that's back from 2008. And I'm like, what?
You're
Holy
looking
shit.
at your what?
2008? Bitch, it's wow. Like, it's, my kid graduates. I mean, well, Tucker graduates. Chadney's oldest graduates this year.
Ooh.
Mine graduates next year. We're old.
Yeah.
Our private areas are like Brillo pads of SOSing.
Whoa.
That's
if we
old.
were monetized, you just got us demonetized for like.
But I said pubic area.
Yeah, that's the thing. No one wants to hear about old white men's pubic areas. That's
like, what those hot chicks on those yachts do, because you know who owns them yachts. They're all about the SOS pad.
I can't remember which site it was. It was, oh, good Lord. It was some revenge porn site. And the guy who runs the site, he was talking about porta potties, and he referred to women who go onto those rich person yachts, and the person who invited them on, who owns the yachts, they do nasty things to those girls just so the women can stay on the yacht, so that they're referred to as porta potties for that reason. It's strange. Life is strange in other parts of the world.
It is. Well, I know we can try to, how do you say, pretend it doesn't happen here, but the same shit happens here. I mean, it really, maybe not to the degree it happens in other parts of the world, but it definitely happens around, well, maybe not around this vicinity. Well, maybe it does. Because I remember getting, not in an argument, but I called this girl out, and she was, it was at work, and she said how, Jonah Hill is so cute. Bitch, Jonah Hill's me with money. He's not cute. Look at him. He looks like fucking Jabba the Hutt's offspring at times. And he's cute? Fuck you, he's cute. Yeah, I bet you I'd be cute if I had all that money too, motherfucker. I'd be gorgeous.
Yeah. I've got an idea.
Okay, go.
I got an idea to do a movie. It's probably going to be a short film called, and I'm going to call it Winnings. So it's about a regular person wins the lottery, and all the worst aspects of humanity come out to get him. Like, you've heard about family members who just pop up out of the woodwork and say, "Oh, we haven't talked in so long. Miss you. Hope you're doing well. I've got a problem. I need money. I've got to have an operation."
Of course, yeah.
And I'm talking about people who call you up and they're absolutely scamming you, but they're doing their best to try to convince you that the thing they're selling or pushing on you is legitimate, and people assaulting this guy in public. For me, you stopped. I don't know what the hell. Maybe it's. I seem to be going still. Someone let us know in the
It's
chat.
my
what's going
internet.
on.
Yeah,
Ah.
and that's the thing. I'm giving Shaw a call tomorrow. I'm sorry to cut you off. I am. My internet box is 10 feet away from me. We moved everything downstairs. I am hardlined into the fucking Wi-Fi box. I'm hardwired into it. And I got the little thing up in the corner that says, connection is unstable. If you're on Wi-Fi, try plugging in. I'm plugged into my router. I'm freaking 10 feet away from it. And it's telling me I have a shit connection. Anyways, okay. So wins the lottery. Worst aspects of all human beings come at him.
Yes. And I think the ending is going to be, even though he's got all this money, he ends up either sleeping in his car because everyone's bothering him at home and he has to move out, or he's homeless and he's bruised and battered and he's running away from people who are actively attacking him, something like that. It's going to be a short film because you can't go on for an hour and a half like that.
Yeah, I know. Am I still frozen? Like even now?
At least you're not frozen on the screen where you're like, or something.
Like I'm really frozen on the screen right now.
Yeah. But he'll be back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Should have had his avatar on there. I took the avatar from the intro and gave that to him so he can. Richard, yes, Brewster's Millions from 1985. Good movie. Watched it last year. Not bad. There he is. He's moving.
Fuck.
I like Brewster's Millions because he had to spend all the money in a certain amount of time under certain conditions in order to get even more money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of that, so I just read an interesting article on Alvin Kamara. He is the running back for the New Orleans Saints, and he's under a $75 million contract right now and hasn't spent any of it. He is strictly living off the endorsements that he's getting, which I think is genius. Like I've seen him in, I think it was a Snickers commercial, and I've seen him in a few other commercials. But that's genius. I saw something that he still drives like his Toyota Corolla or something to the stadium. Like he's like, yeah, his 2000 and something Corolla. So
if it's a perfectly good vehicle, why not? I mean, I don't understand people who go out and buy 10 and 12 vehicles. Why?
See, right now, so we have 3 under our name, but the one is going to be Cohen's. Kim has one, I have one, and once Cohen his vehicles off our insurance, I'd like to buy myself a like a little beater to kind of go around town. Instead of, because like my truck's a 2014 and I don't even have 50,000 kilometers on it.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, I'll just buy a little shit box to run back and forth to work in, right?
Yeah, because it's not like you're in Mackenzie anymore. Like from where you were in Mackenzie to drive to the mill was a good, 3-4 kilometers?
It was 8, I thought. I thought it was 8 out to the mill.
I have no idea.
I think it's about 8. I'll put it into perspective. Actually, once my legs healed, I'll probably just ride my bike. Nice. I'm probably from the mall to Parmars away from work.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm probably going to, like, I was riding my bike last year, but, you know, the winds down here get brutal. And at the end of the day, I just don't want to ride a bike into the wind. I'm just like, right? So, but now with it being so close, like, yeah, I'd say Parmars. If not maybe the rec center to Parmars. That's how far I am.
Okay, that's not too long. Yeah.
No, so, but hey, that's a great segue. Because we were talking, like me and Alex were talking before the show about, we got on the subject of vehicles and cars and, well, actually, I think it all came from talking about carbon tax, of course, that keeps going up. And we'll get to the Quebec thing, which I'd like to talk about and see if anyone has some insight. But, right? You know, you're from Mackenzie when Parmars is a distance measurement.
Well, you know, you're from Canada when you measure distance in. It takes this long to get from here to here.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you know, yeah, take a left at the Timmy's, right? But not that Timmy's. Okay, the old Timmies, not the new Timmies, the old Timmies. Okay, and if you've hit the superstore, you've gone too far. But we were talking about, and I wasn't sure, Alex. I don't know if you said yes or no, but Alberta had a plan that you could bring old vehicles in. You could trade old vehicles in to go put money down towards new vehicles, even if it was like an old clunker piece of shit. You could to help with emissions, and I thought that was a great idea for people that could afford vehicles. And then we started talking about what vehicles are now, and my wife happened to be looking yesterday for the the cheap Cherokee that we have now. It's just a base model, right? It's got a touchscreen in it and automatic windows, but that's all standard now. That's $30,000. I was like, whew, that's for a base model. That seems pretty high. For a Dodge Ram Laramie 3,500 is $95,000. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, what kind of perks you get with that?
It looks pretty inside.
Yeah.
Probably has a seat warmer, which some girls would have to worry about because once it gets warm, it smells like an old tuna casserole. So I think some dudes would too, because you get some good old swamp ass going in that 45-degree weather, and you hit the wrong button, all of a sudden it smells like fucking cow manure in your vehicle. Like, didn't know we were near a slaughterhouse. But and I started thinking, and I thought about this the whole time. Vehicles are this high, 90,000, 30, like an exorbitant amount of money for a vehicle right now. These are the same companies that 11 years ago were going bankrupt.
And we had to bail them out.
They had to be bailed out. Now, here's why it always gets to me. Everything worked out for me. The garbage man ended up fine. But at the time, I was in business with my ex-father-in-law. And when we went tits up and we lost the trucks and everything happened, there was no bailout for us.
Mm-mm.
I lost my fucking truck. I lost my house. I lost everything. We didn't get no bailouts. The government wasn't there giving me money to make sure my ends were meeting.
Yeah.
But, we had to keep Chevy and Dodge fucking going.
Because they're the big producers of jobs. They give thousands of people jobs.
Machines aren't people, remember?
Well, let's be careful now, because with those, what do you want to call them? Sex robots? We probably just got flagged and demonetized and hidden again. There are people out there who are saying they have feelings, they are alive, you have to treat them as human beings, they have rights. Yeah.
And in this world and time and age, why wouldn't we, right?
Yes.
Like, why wouldn't we? That's the wave of the future, I think. That's just, fuck me. But the reason we were talking about that, and I brought it up too, was like, I don't understand. Like, you see these people, and everybody knows the guys, or they've seen them driving around. I don't know how much old vehicles there are around in the lower mainland, Alex, but there's quite a few here in southern Alberta. Why wouldn't they have taken those vehicles when, hey, we'll trade you this 1997 Ford Mustang for your 1986 Cutlass with the donut wheel on the back? No, instead they just crushed them. Like, I don't know how old vehicle, like what it's like down south. Like, is it mainly newer vehicles down south? Do you see a lot of junkers really around?
Newer vehicles-ish. I think the vehicles are at least 5, 10, 15 years old. When you get out towards the valley area, Chilliwack, Hope, Merritt, you see some older vehicles in the way of pickup trucks mainly. Mm-hmm. But there are quite a few new vehicles in the area that I live in, especially Teslas. I'm seeing more Teslas going around. Yeah.
And like, what are they going? I don't even know what a Tesla's going for now. Like, I think there's a base model that goes pretty cheap, not in the realm of vehicles, I guess.
Cheap. Yeah. I would think in the $40,000 or $50,000 range. Then again, Elon wants to make them available for a lot of people, so they could be as low as 35, 40. I have no idea. Go to the Kootenays. Yeah, we got to see the old clunkers out in the Kootenays. Chad, put a video together and show us.
Yeah, like the hills have eyes out there and shit.
Yeah. You know what? I saw both versions of that movie, the Wes Craven and the new.
Yeah.
I like the Wes Craven version slightly better simply because of the time period, the grain of the video,
Yeah.
and the distance in time that it was from now. It makes it a bit more scary back then.
Yeah, almost definitely. Yeah, because we're here now. We're kind of, almost. Well, it's a desensitized, right? Like you think about like the first Friday the 13th and all that stuff. Like in, I think it was said in The Simpsons that when you go back to watch like the original Nightmare on Elm Street, it's nothing now, right? So
Yeah.
things were a lot different, right? Like you take kids that were watching like that were freaking out over like Halloween. And the biggest thing about Halloween was the music, they always said, right? That was, and it is creepy. That fucking, and if Sarah's listening, I think I told her this story. So when I had a Samsung, her ringtone was the Halloween theme song. And she's never called me. Like we always text and stuff, right? And I love my sister, but I wanted to talk to her about something. I was on Graveyards and she said, okay, I'll give you a call in a bit. Well, the fucking phone went off and it was the Halloween theme song. And I almost ditched the truck, scared the living bejesus out of myself. Because that piano hit, and I was like, ah! Oh, it's my phone. Like, I wait for fucking Shatner to sit in the back seat, for fuck's sakes. But I think if you took those kids from the 80s, right, and you said, okay, we're going to sit here, and you guys are going to watch Saw 3. Here you go. I think they'd have a heart attack.
Yep.
Or Hostel.
Yeah, the first Hostel. Or not any. I'm going to say the second part of the Human Centipede trilogy, which to me is the most depraved of the trilogy. If you've not seen it, I don't recommend it. Maybe as an endurance test to see if you can get through it, but I wouldn't recommend it for entertainment value.
I watched the first one, was enough for me.
You know what? The first one is the most artistic, the second the most depraved, and the third is the greatest underrated comedy of 2015. You have not seen a funnier movie than a 72-year-old German shouting his lines and just being over the top crazy as in that movie. I highly do and don't recommend that movie.
Actually, you know what? I think a good mind blow would be, because it'd be still grainy and look older, would be the first Hellraiser.
That's a great movie.
That was one of my Alex's favorite fucking Jesus weeps. Yeah. But I think that'd be great because it wouldn't be because I think the Saws would be so realistic that people would have a heart attack. It still has that bit of grainy with, like you said, you could tell that like the CG and stuff back in those movies. So, but yeah, I definitely, man, I got so much wrestling to watch this weekend. I might have to do a horror movie thing next week. Like some old, like the first Hellraiser. I got to find Texas Chainsaw, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I had it on DVD. I don't know where the fuck it ended up. Bet you my kid ate it.
You know that John Larroquette did the intro narration for that?
Did he really?
He did. And it's strange that it was John Larroquette because he was, I think at the time, either a roommate or a friend of Tobe Hooper.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Holy shit.
It is interesting. Yeah.
Huh.
And then they brought him back for the 2003 version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, God, I didn't even think going this way. Did you watch any of the other Texas Chainsaws? And I don't mean like the number 2 and the next gen, or did you watch those? I mean, they were horrible. But did you watch the newer ones with like Jessica Biel and whatnot?
No, I wasn't too interested. No. I might get to them eventually, but no.
See, because that's my favorite series, the Texas Chainsaw. And then when they redid them, I thought it was kind of okay. I think a lot of horror movies, in just my opinion, have lost their way in that there's always that they don't build to it. Like when you go to Halloween, it's the build to Michael Myers, right? It's the build to find out who the killer was at Friday the 13th. The build to see like Freddy in his full form, right? It was the build to the first kill, and really there was only one kill with the chainsaw in Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
So it's that build and suspension, and I think that it's, yes, that again, like just that it's in my head, Ryan. See, I like the one that took place. Oh, see, there were so many that came out. I like the one where the cousin came in and like inherited the house, and she found out she was a Sawyer. And then the other one was like the other one takes place right after, like the black guy gets away. I don't even know what happened to that poor trucker who stopped the help, and she ditches out and runs away, and that's when Junior does his spin with the chainsaw. But actually, I got a funny story. It's Sarah, because Sarah's here.
Oh, before can I jump in for a second? I apologize for interrupting.
No, I apologize. I'm going on a rant, so go.
Oh, it's all good. So speaking of big, ugly, scary guys, Casey is Raw is here. Welcome, Casey. It's good to see you. Prepare for many perverted comments coming here. I'm just kidding, Casey. It's good to see you again, man.
Sorry, I got a friend. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's just gore, no suspense. You're right, Jen. It's torture porn. But I think if you look more into the indie horror films of the past 10 years, it is going back towards building suspense and being low-key creepy. There's a Turkish film that I really like from 2015. It's called Baskin. I really recommend that film. It's a slow build, especially to the end. It does have its moments of gore, but it's more of a creepy vibe, and that's really what I like in terms of horror these days.
And see, Chad, I'll recommend to you right now, Chad, don't go back and watch the Nightmare, the Elm Streets, because we watched 3, The Dream Warriors, about 5-6 years ago. It ruined it for me because it's just. It looks so cheesy, and it really killed the memories of me watching it. It's kind of like, oh. Whereas, like, the Friday the 13th, for the cheesy that they were, there wasn't big special effects, right? Where Freddy, there was like when he came out of the TV or the marionette, when he's. Yeah. So it looked really cheesy. So do yourself a favor, don't go back and watch them. Just try to let them stay in your brain the way they were. One I would recommend, because we watched it at the same time. What's the Nightmare? I didn't read that one yet. Was The People Under the Stairs. Still a great movie.
That's a great movie.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely would not put out. It was ridiculous. Yeah, but don't say it sucks, Chad. Just stay with the memories of it.
Wes Craven, great filmmaker, and I'm talking. If you go back to, I think it was 1972 when he did The Last House on the Left.
Great movie.
He didn't do I Spit on Your Grave, but that's a great movie from 1978. I haven't seen Shocker, but The People Under the Stairs is great. And there was another one he did. I mentioned The Last House on the Left.
I like Scream.
Scream was good.
The first Scream I thought the first Scream was excellent.
Yes. Yeah, because it was something different.
Yes.
You look at the latest Halloween in that time period. I think it was 1995. It was like Halloween 5 or Halloween 6. It was just stupid.
Yeah, they were horrible.
Yeah, and Friday the 13th at that point in the early to mid 90s, terrible.
Were we at 10 yet?
No.
Was that 10 or Space?
Jason X was 2001.
Which, I mean, was horrible. I mean, it was campy as fuck, but it was horrible. Jason Goes to Hell was god awful. See, and I've heard that. I've heard Shocker is excellent. Oh, The Serpent in the Rainbow. That was one he did.
Yeah, with Bill Pullman. That's really good.
I just brought up Wes Craven. I want to what? I would have never thought about it. But yes, that was a great. I remember watching that as a kid, and it was like, holy shit.
Yeah, Jason X, Sarah. That was. And David Cronenberg had a short role in Jason X. I love David Cronenberg. He's an interesting human being when you look at him. Just look at him straight on in just about any movie he's in.
David I'd say I'd have to look him up here. I'm looking up the filmography for you. Filmography for him.
Near Dark is. Oh,
no,
Near
John
Dark
Carpenter. Carpenter, isn't it?
No, Near Dark was Catherine Bigelow. That's a great movie.
I'm thinking the one with Piper in it was John Carpenter. They Live. That's what I think I was thinking about. They
Live is awesome. I watched
a great movie.
I watched that fight scene recently. God, that's awesome.
Fucking great. So Fireworks Woman. I've never heard of. The Hills Have Eyes. The Hills Have Eyes Part 2. I didn't know there was a Part 2 back in the 80s. I had no idea. Swamp Thing. Really? He wrote that? Okay. The Elm Streets, of course. The People Under the Stairs. Yeah. I recommend anyone who's not seen The People Under the Stairs. I so enjoyed that movie.
And my girlfriend, she's not too big into horror. Well, it depends on what kind of horror movies, but she loves The People Under the Stairs. And I'm like, yep, that's the one for me. That's what clinched it.
That's awesome. See, and like Jen said, like there was like they said that another like the building, like, and that was where when and I've said this on the show before, I know I've said it before. Yeah. The first Scream or the first Saw, I remember watching it with my ex, and it was boring. I thought it was like as it was building, I'm kind of like, oh, okay, come on, like, but when spoiler alert, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, when the guy stood up, when Jigsaw stood up in the middle, it's like, holy shit, he was in there the whole time, you know. So like that was the build, right? Wrong Turn was good. I enjoyed The Strangers with Liv Tyler. And I can't think of the guy who was in it. But yeah, if you haven't seen that, I recommend The Strangers. I quite enjoyed it.
Okay.
And The Purges. I actually, you know what? I didn't really enjoy the first Purge, but the rest of them I really liked.
Yeah.
The first was kind of me, but
that's a good solid set of movies. The Purge
I think movies. So. I haven't watched the series yet, but I'm sure it's going to be good too. I haven't watched the series. Hey, Bones, we're not getting you on. Did we see a Brody comment? He said he commented on. No. Comment on YouTube, Brody. We're not seeing you on.
I'm not seeing any of Facebook comments, unfortunately. I don't know
if anyone's
why.
commenting on Facebook, guys, we're not seeing them. So if you want to try to get over on YouTube, I don't know what the heck's going on with Facebook. So
I don't know.
Like The Strangers was awesome. So. Where was I gonna go? See, now Casey said disappointed in Halloween 20. Not water.
No water. H2O, you know?
Okay, I wasn't sure. Gotcha. I didn't. I was just reading it quick.
Oh.
Halloween 20, no water, H2O. Holy fuck. Who's writing your fucking jokes, Brody? Good Lord, those are terrible. And another one that I think they really dropped the ball on, and that's why I don't think we'll ever see another crossover movie, was the Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah.
Because it was exciting to see it happen, but Freddy Krueger kicked the shit out of Jason.
But Jason can take it. That's the thing.
I know, but still, it was kind of like, huh. But yeah, I was meh, you know. Meh.
It was a case of, and I'm going to quote Elm Street Part 2, he's got the body, I've got the brains. And then he peels his skin back.
Oh, yeah. See, we got your cousin, Trevor, Mr. Turner. Yeah, guys, here, I'm going to go into YouTube and I'll share it. There you go.
I did change it to public, Brody. I don't know what the hell's going on. All right, well, I'll do it again.
Yeah, learn more. Can't see posts. No, Facebook group profiles. Huh. Interesting. Thanks, Bones. But I will copy it here, and for anyone that's making a comment, that's strange. Oh, maybe it. You know what happened? Maybe it changed when we went. When you go live.
Yeah.
Maybe. Hold on, guys. I'm just flicking something here. Well, there, switch counts. We're so professional here, folks. I'm gonna get some weird. Okay, hold on. More opinions.
Our good friend Trevor Turner said 4 minutes ago, my favorite vampire movie, Lost Boys. That's a great 80s movie.
Yes. That is a great 80s movie.
It's such an 80s movie, and it was directed by Joel Schumacher. That's part of the reason why.
So there it is in the chat now, folks. For you guys commenting again, sorry that we missed that. I'll read some of these too.
We're sorry.
We're sorry. Okay. Kind of like this movie shit. Why do we gotta stop talking about it? We don't have to stop talking about it.
I know. I'm gonna tell you, in the 30, I'm going to be 40 this year, so I'm going to say I started watching movies in 1985. So in the 35 years that I've been watching movies, I have seen approximately, it's in the 3,000 range at this point. Yes, I keep a list because I want to know what I've seen over the years. I want to know how I've wasted almost 40 years of my life. So
and that would be so you're like that with movies. Mine would be music, song lyrics. Yeah. So, anyways, Kate, where you going?
I'm at approximately 3,310 at this point.
Wow.
Yeah, and
there you go.
Most movies out there, they're okay. They're like a one-time watch. Mm-hmm. Some movies out there are just terrible shit, and there are a very, very small amount of movies that are great. So one of these days, you and I will do a movie show.
You see, and that's the thing with me when it comes to, like, for instance, Hostel. I'll never watch it again. Just because it, like, okay, I don't know if you want to call it a good movie or a disturbing movie, that it stayed with me. Like, when he's crawling across the floor after his Achilles have been cut, I'm just like, okay, this is like, holy shit. Or when that guy's taking the leg off of the guy and he's like stranded, he's like, no, I'll pass, and goes back into like eating the guy's leg while he's alive. It's just like, that just stays with you.
Yeah. There was a movie I saw recently. I can't remember what it was, but it was disturbing, and it stayed with me as well. One movie that I would not recommend for you because you didn't like Hostel as much, but that I thought was really good, especially in the way it was made. It's a French movie from 2008. It's called Martyrs.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought the ending was really good.
Martyrs. So Sarah, watch Martyrs and let me know how it is.
Oh no, Sarah, don't do it. Unless, Sarah, you're into that kind of thing. There's a Canadian movie, and on the other show we talked about this. We mentioned it briefly, and I want to bring it up again because it is a Canadian production, and it really disturbed me.
Was it Tusk?
No.
Have you seen Tusk?
I've seen Tusk. Tusk was good. I liked it.
It was fucked up. But...
this thing is fucking with me.
Train to Busan if you like zombies. Can we agree on something though while you're looking that up, folks, and folks that are in there? I love zombie movies. In Dawn of the Dead, in the new one, when they're on top of the mall, and that girl's screaming about her dog, I would have kicked her over the fucking edge. Go get your dog, bitch! Fucking taking our apocalyptic van to go do that shit. Anyways, go ahead, Alex.
My Google Chrome browser has frozen. You could still see and hear me, but it's not giving me any access. It might kick me out at some point just to reset, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so the film that I was going to recommend, and like I said, this one disturbed me. I've seen a lot of horror movies over the years. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff. This one, it made me queasy, and it stuck with me. It's called Thanatomorphose, and it's from 2012. It's a Canadian film. To spell it...
Hold on.
Yeah.
I want you to spell for me because I'm going to look it up here. Okay. Hold on, let me get the old keyboard ready. All right, go ahead.
Thanatom.
There it is.
Yeah, from 2012. It's disturbing. And not simply in the story itself, but the practical effects. That's what stuck with me. And the lead actress, she was quite good in that. That's what made it believable.
Looks gory.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
It's got like a 4 point something on the IMDb. You know, really gory horror movies, extreme horror, they always get low ratings on the IMDb, and I don't know why, because it's not easy being in a movie like that.
I don't know. I'm just looking at some of these pictures. Jesus Christ. Like, so Sean, like, yeah, I definitely, like, yeah, go look it up. It's looks like it can be something for sure. Holy cow.
I might have to duck out here for a minute because I'm not getting any access to Chrome at this point.
Okay, so you said it, Jen, not us. I'm watching a preview on Marty's. What the hell is that? Marty's. I don't even know what the hell Marty's is. What is Marty's? I haven't even heard of it. Now I gotta look it up. Thanks, Sarah. I don't see shit. I actually just watched. I think I said this once before that a few weeks ago I watched Seven with my kid, and yeah, he the end of it he was just like. So there was that, and then there was The Usual Suspects was the other one that we watched, and it was really, really cool. So, are you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so you want to remove that other? For some reason, we got two.
I'd like to remove it, but I have no way of doing so. Oh, well.
Sarah, I'm on the middle of a show. I can't answer your voice message while we're on a show. That's ridiculous. Gosh. Yeah.
No, there are a lot of foreign exchange students who are smart, so I'd like to take that as a compliment, but I don't think he's meaning it that way.
I don't think so either.
Oh, well.
All right. So you want to what? Let's get to some news and current events and whatnot.
Yeah. So social media, for some strange reason, is rife with misinformation, as is the rest of the internet. As I said previously, the Mackenzie mentality has taken over the internet, where I heard this and therefore it must be true.
No shit.
I'll share my screen.
Ooh.
Yeah, it sounds dirty, but I assure you it isn't.
Talk dirty to me.
All right. So this has been going around for the past week or so. Dr. Bonnie Henry, the provincial health officer of British Columbia, spotted in an indoor public space with no mask on, boarding a private helicopter to Victoria to visit her family for Easter after canceling all extra ferry sailings to the island so that BC residents couldn't travel over Easter long weekend. What's with the run-on sentence? Aside from that.
Wrong.
So there are 3 pictures here. They are slightly above potato cam quality, where it was a step up from the camera that took pictures of Bigfoot and alien craft in the sky over the past 30 to 40 years. Like I can see that it might be Dr. Bonnie Henry, but also it could be someone who looks like her. So that's in question. If you look at the first picture, she's in a public space. Okay, she's indoors. She's wearing a fucking mask. That's in the first picture. The picture's cropped so you can't see everything around her. It looks like she is socially distanced from everyone else. More importantly, we don't know when these pictures are taken. And this is where I refer to picture number 2, where it says, guess who? That does look like Dr. Bonnie Henry. However, evidence is needed. Evidence is required. So if this picture was taken January, February, March, or before the new lockdown restrictions were implemented, then this doesn't really make her look like a hypocrite. However, if this picture was taken after she had announced the restrictions, yes, then she would be a hypocrite. And the third picture, where she's walking toward a helicopter. So as the claim goes, boarding a private helicopter, citation needed, evidence for your claim, perhaps. Although you can see in the distance, it is a person wearing a brown coat, which matches the first and second picture. So the claims: Bonnie Henry spotted in an indoor public space with no mask on, in the second picture, not the first picture, you fucking moron. Boarding a private helicopter, citation needed, to Victoria. At what point can we tell in these pictures that she's going to Victoria to visit her family? Citation needed. For Easter, after canceling all extra ferry sailings. I become the evidence frog at this point. Prove it. Prove it. Prove it. Prove that she canceled all extra ferry sailings to the island. Because I heard the exact opposite. She did not cancel the ferry sailings. Nick, are you here?
I'm listening.
Okay, all right, thank you. I didn't hear anything. I thought,
No,
oh
I'm
shit,
just listening. You're going. I went earlier. I'm just listening.
So that BC residents couldn't travel over Easter long weekend. Yeah, because that's how the public health officer works. That's how her mind works. It's exactly like that. She doesn't want anyone to travel to the island, so she puts in these restrictions. The hell is wrong with people? And some of you still obey this tyrant. So you're resorting to bullying and name calling now. How many times are people going to do that until bullying and name calling and insulting, they are not an argument, they do not support an argument, and they do not refute an argument? Why? Anyway, so moving on to the second picture. Again, pretty much the same thing with the pictures and the caption, but above that, well, looky who we have here. And this is Alicia CJ. I don't know if this is on Twitter or Instagram or what. And I apologize if none of your comments are showing up, because I only have one screen, so I can't show your comments or reply to them.
No, I'm watching. Do your thing.
Right. Seems Bonnie Henry has her own rules. Yeah, because the provincial health officer can't be overseen by anyone else in government. Fuck. What is wrong with people? Just like for her winery. We'll get to the winery in a minute. Small business can't have indoor service, but she sure can. Yeah, because she's not overseen by anyone. Tyrant, remember. Oh, and nothing like having access to a helicopter on taxpayers' dollars in addition to her $340,000 salary. Citation needed on the $340,000 salary. Access to a helicopter. This is hilarious. We'll get to that in a minute. Rules for me, but not for thee. She is not Nancy Pelosi. I know people want to make that comparison, but it's a futile and silly comparison.
Okay, that's where I was going. Yeah, okay.
All right. British Columbia, when are you going to say enough? Well, okay, it's people like that who have this I don't have to listen to authority figures and people in government attitude that is part of the reason that infection numbers are going up. At my job in the past month, I've had to tell at least 5 people, please wear a mask when you come in here. There are 2 signs. There are 2 clear signs that say wear a mask when you come in here. And they would just walk in. One of them walked in like that. The fuck is wrong with people? Third picture. If you search Bonnie Henry helicopter on Facebook, there are a lot of posts about it. Now, this is a slight refutation. It's not outright bootlicking. From what I can piece together, some people spotted her at the Helijet port and took the photo. So Helijet, this is in Vancouver. Number 1, she was traveling home from Vancouver with a group of government officials. Traveling home. She lives in Victoria. From Vancouver, which is where the Helijet port is. I think that's in downtown Vancouver. With a group of government officials. Now, in the pictures that we saw, we don't see, at least it's not clear, any government officials around her. So I question that. Number 2, she didn't cancel ferry sailings to the island. Citation needed. Number 3, no evidence she's traveling to visit her family for the holidays. True. However, apparently if she was traveling home, because she lives in Victoria, if she was traveling home, is she going home to quarantine? Does she have family there? We don't know. There's no evidence she is. There's no evidence she isn't. So citation needed. Again, this is not an outright refutation. It does raise some questions, though, like why she's traveling to Vancouver for a press conference instead of doing it from home or at least from Victoria. Good point. And although she has a coffee, why did she leave her mask off and play with her phone instead of replacing after taking a sip? So that is referring to active eating and active drinking. At some point in time, when you were in a restaurant, I don't know if this was in British Columbia. I think this was in some United States, and this was individual to particular states, that if you were not actively eating or drinking, you had to have the mask on. Makes sense. These are supposed to be deadly important safety measures. True. But then again, and I'll say this again, we don't know when the pictures were taken. Are we going to somehow prove that the pictures were taken before or after she announced the restrictions for the Easter holiday long weekend? I don't know. I don't know how that's going to be proved. But picture number 4. Apparently, Nadia Van D replied on Facebook. She's doing a refutation of the pictures as well. False. Dr. Bonnie Henry spotted in an indoor public space with no mask on. Well, post number 1, and I don't have the other pictures up anymore, but it clearly showed in picture number 1 that she was wearing a mask. So, fuck you. Post was taken at the Vancouver Harbor Helijet Terminal. I believe that's in downtown. Sitting in the lounge with coffee and snacks available and ample room for social distancing. So the picture is cropped. You can't tell if there's anyone around her. You can't tell about social distancing. However, her phone is in her hand and there's a coffee behind her. No mask on at the moment. Again, was this before or after restrictions? We don't know. As a flight medic, I spend a lot of time at Helijet. I know the space well. Okay, I myself can't refute her claim, so I'll just have to accept it at this point. You can clearly see a coffee sitting beside her. She's following her own directions by removing her mask to eat or drink. She can be seen at the check-in desk with a mask on. Yes, that's picture number 1. False. Boarding a private helicopter to Victoria to visit her family for Easter. This is not a private helicopter. It's a commercial helicopter with scheduled flights all day. And if anyone wants to look up Vancouver Harbor Helijet Terminal, I'm pretty sure you can find out if that's true or not. Dr. Henry lives in Victoria, so I had read that. This person says the same. Many government workers travel via helijet for work-related business. She was going home. So the claim, she was going to visit friends and family, she was going home. We don't know. You can't tell by the pictures where exactly she was going or what her intention was. False. After canceling all extra ferry sailings to the island. Fact, extra ferry sailings were not canceled. Citation needed on both. Pictures like this is why so many are living in fear and anger. Creating mistrust in our leaders is causing more harm than good. True. Please do your due diligence before sharing false narratives like this. Well, if someone has an axe to grind with Dr. Bonnie Henry because they don't like what she's saying, of course they're going to share this post without being critical of it. And finally, picture number 5, she edited her post to add this. Since people keep bringing up her winery, it's closed for wine tastings until May 1st. Again, I'm critical of everything, so citation needed. Ask yourself, what have you done to support essential workers? That is kind of a side argument. We're talking about Dr. Bonnie Henry and her supposed hypocritical stance, like rules for thee and not for me. So apparently she is one of the owners of a Similkameen winery called Clos du Soleil. And yeah, that is all I have to say about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're a sheep.
Yeah. Yep. Name calling.
Because that's the response you would get.
Mhm.
Because you came at someone with facts, knowledge, and you were prepared. So what are you going to get? You're going to get, bah, you're a sheep. Yeah, just go, you sheep. Bah, bah.
Yeah, you're a bootlicker. You're a Yahtzee. Can't say the actual N-Ahtzee word because we'll probably get flagged.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what would have happened. That's if you would have, it's the same. I've told this story numerous times about the guy carrying on about the NDP leader. And I can't think of the gentleman's name. Yeah. Dude, he's from Peterborough, Ontario. Well, he said my country. He's talking about Canada. So you're such a racist asshole that your friend first went to him not being from Canada. Good job.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have much to say about it. I saw the pictures. I didn't share it. Because I don't know. You don't know.
That's
I
the
saw
thing. You
tons
don't
of
know.
people sharing it. You don't know.
Yep.
You know,
How can you prove either way,
Yeah, and I wish I would have had a good retort to it, like to be like, but I don't, because everything that they're saying is fact. I would like to actually, I should like to try and maybe find those and see what people are saying after the fact. Because even when people are presented with facts like that, they'll still fight it.
Yeah.
They'll say, no, you're wrong. Blah, blah, blah. I know. I have a friend who blah, blah, blah. Even when the gentleman said he's a paramedic on the helipad, there's still someone who is going to say, oh, but I know somebody who works there and they said this. That's what'll happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, yeah, I don't even know what to add to it, because you told the story, you debunked it all, and I was just trying to play the part of, like, right?
But I'm not exactly taking anyone's side. I'm being critical of all of it. I'm saying citation needed. I'm not going to take a stance on it. I'm just saying, why share this if you don't have the facts? And how are people like you and I going to get the facts? I mean, unless Dr. Bonnie Henry addresses it herself, we don't know for sure.
Yeah. But she's got to be at the point where, because I mean, literally, if these politicians took the time to go over every single piece of misinformation that was out there about them, they'd never get anything done. Well, they don't get anything done anyways. So they're on the vacation going there, tell me I can't do it. I won't. Like, no, well, that's what that's what, not, sorry, I used the wrong word, not debunking, but he's putting it out there and bringing to light the overreaction of seeing pictures, I guess, to be more, not debunk.
Yeah. Thank you, Brody. Appreciate
but I think that goes a lot like with what me and you talked about earlier. And again, this isn't going to be nearly as thorough as Alex's, but the thing popping up lately of Quebec doesn't pay a carbon tax. It's true and it's not true. Because I did look this up, and again, both me and Alex talked about this, and we kind of went, we don't know what this is, so we're kind of screwed. But so I read on the Google, it says Quebec is exempt from the federal government's carbon tax because since 2013 it operates on a cap and trade system, and it'll reap the benefits of that system in the future. As per, it is estimated that Quebec's carbon tax for 2022 is about $23 per ton, while the federal carbon tax is $50. So I go back to asking the question of, well, why isn't every province doing that? I mean, if anybody could do it, is it one of those things that you're too late to get to the party, so you can't do it now? Like, is this something that maybe Quebec rolled the dice on? And I can already hear like the crazy right going, see, Trudeau playing this so that he would fuck us. Like I can already hear it. Can't you? Can't you hear? I can hear it already. So
yes, they've already got their narrative machine fired up, and we're the victims, and we got to fight back. And
that's exactly what happened. So, before I go on my lengthy wrestling one, is there another one you'd like to tackle? I mean, we were in no rush to do anything. So
I was going to share, and this is more to the internet itself. When someone says to you, do your research. We're having trouble sharing. Okay. But I did get this from, maybe I'll put it as an overlay.
Kind of like I did, what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Okay, so here it is. Do your research. Stop telling me to do my research. Sane people use the internet to research the best price on underpants and the top recipe for mushroom risotto. You can't research pandemics and virology on the internet to the point where you become a credible authority. So when someone says, do your research, okay, if I do my research on the internet, and the conclusions that I come to are in opposition to the conclusions that you have come to, then what? Oh, I know. You call me a sheep. You call me a bootlicker. You call me a Yahtzee. You call me names. You say you're not doing the right research. You're not going to the right websites. You're this. You're that. It's just resorting to bullying and name calling. So when someone says do your research, what I like to say is, why don't you show your research? And in order for me to understand your point of view, I will go to the websites that you have done your research at, and I'll see if I agree with what I see there. Something.
Yeah, and I like that. I don't see a problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's yeah. So, and I completely agree. Now that you did it, I hope Sarah's still here, and I hope you guys are here because this is gonna be funny. So. Go to the dog. Okay, so I was showing my physiotherapist my leg. And there's some weird materials on my leg that I'm going to show you guys here. Do the same thing Alex did. All right. Now, if you look up here, just across from my head, you'll see these little bit things that are like, I know you guys can't see my mouse cursor, but they almost look like, I was a little scared. Like, and they're all down my leg here. Little white chunks above my x-ray. I hope everybody can see that. I thought they were maggots or rice. That's what it looks like to me. So today I finally get to go see my bone surgeon. And while he's looking at the goes, well, I go, wait, stop. And I said, what are those things? And he's like, oh, those are staples. And of course I'm like, staples. He's like, yeah, the plastic surgeons like to use them when they suture up veins and whatnot. They won't hurt you or nothing, but they're there now. So yeah, my leg is full of staples along with all the metal holding my bones and stuff together. I thought that was great.
I think at some point in time, like over time, your body will extricate that stuff from itself. Like it'll rise to the surface and then you could pick it out, I think.
Yeah, and that'll just be terrifying.
Yeah.
Right? I'll just be shooting like, oh, I'd be like my wrestling move and I'll just put my knee across their head. Right there. So do you got any more you want to share this right now?
No, not right now.
No? All right. So for the 4 people that are listening here, this is a festive time of year. It's supposed to be a festive time of year for wrestling fans. It is WrestleMania season. Okay? Now, to say that the WWE has completely lost track of what it once was is an understatement. I don't have the exact number, but I know that they got, I know it was a few $1 billion to sign the WWE network over to NBC. Thus is why, in my opinion, I believe they do not care, they being WWE, the product that is put out now. So, that being said, WrestleMania is supposed to be the biggest build of the year. They call the last Raw before going. Now, the show is split, okay? One roster stays on SmackDown, one stays on Raw, okay? So it's like supposed to treat it like 2 different shows, okay, Alex?
Okay.
So the go-home show, the big blow up between that before they go to WrestleMania is probably one of the worst shows that have been on in a very long time. Albeit, in full disclosure, I did not watch it. Peacock and NBC are the same shit, Brody. From Coach, Mr. Lissick, and there was Jake and Joe show, the worst Raw go home show ever. It ended with Drew McIntyre, who, let's face it, is supposed to be their big star, but he's not. Like he's not the name, against a guy who dresses like the Possum King with a fur on his back. No excitement, no build. So I did some notes the other day. I went back to 2013, or sorry, no, WrestleMania 13. Okay, so WrestleMania 13, March 23rd, 1997. I was 17. Alex was 16. I don't think Alex was full wrestling mode quite yet with us. He was close because wrestling hadn't quite hit as big as it was going to. So the main event for that Raw before they went to WrestleMania 13 was Bret Hart versus Sid Vicious in a cage for the WWF Championship. So the story goes, the big setup is if Bret wins the championship at WrestleMania, it would have been him and Stone Cold for the title. So him and Stone Cold, Bret and Stone Cold hate each other, okay? But during this match, it's in a solid steel cage, and Stone Cold's out there trying to help Bret Hart win. Because if they win, then Stone Cold gets a title shot. Well, then the Undertaker comes out, big smoz. Undertaker and Bret are friends. Well, Bret's about to escape the cage, and Undertaker slams the door on his head and costs him the match. And there's and wrestling fans will remember this. Chad, Trevor, and Brody, of course, remember this. This was the famous Raw where Bret threw Vince onto the ground and started cursing on TV. He's like, this is bullshit. He said shit about 5 or 6 times, said, God damn it. Like, Stone Cold cut a promo. That's it. So they ended that show with everybody going, oh my God, I can't wait for WrestleMania. Right? That would get you pumped, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This week's show has goddamn Possum King wears a rug on his back, in a match with like no one cares. Okay. WrestleMania 14. This is the big one. This is the one I think you were probably into wrestling now. If not, it's close. This is the WrestleMania where Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold faced, where Stone Cold won his first title. With Mike Tyson was involved and whatnot. So Mike, right before the end of the show,
see you later, bro.
Thanks, bro. Michaels cuts a good promo on Austin, telling him I put your lights out and I'm going to put your lights out again. WrestleMania 15, which ended up being The Rock versus Stone Cold. There was the famous beer bath where the Stone Cold soaked them down with the beer hose and stuff like that. That was the Raw that went home. That's the Raw that took them home. Building excitement. There's no more excitement for wrestling. Nobody gives a shit. 1.7 million people watched Raw. I don't even know what that is for a share. I mean, I was trying to figure it out with chat. In perspective, back in these days, in the 90s when we were watching this shit, we're talking like 6 million people watching a show. That's how many viewers wrestling has lost.
Wow.
Yeah. So I wasn't going to keep going, but it gives me a headache just talking about it. I'm still going to watch because it's WrestleMania. I'm going to record it. So that way I could fast forward through all the dumb stuff. So I was going to keep going, but it gives me a headache. It really does. I hate that something I love so much sucks so bad.
Yeah.
It's very disheartening. It's kind of like music these days. We had this discussion last week. What's even left for us to give anybody? Or my kid did tell you, yeah. Here's some shitty rapper that sounds like every other rapper. Here you go.
Mumble rap and auto tune combined.
Yeah. Medicine defense, but the hands of Fendicent. Got it.
That's a Grammy right there.
Apparently. Apparently. So
that sucks about wrestling because the population in general has gone up. I think in the mid 90s, the population was at, and this is global population. It's got to be 6 billion. Now we're at 7.8. So you figure some of those people would be wrestling fans, but yet 6 million down to 1.7. It's not looking good. There's got to be something else for the brand to do.
Well, because you think about when we used to watch wrestling, like you knew that it was choreographed and it was predetermined, but the storytelling was so good. You're like, Stone Cold really does hate Vince McMahon. Like Stone Cold hates him.
Yeah.
Like there's just no other way around it. But that was it. You were able to suspend your disbelief.
Mm-hmm.
You can't anymore. Like you can't.
Yeah, kayfabe is dead, the old saying.
Yeah, kayfabe is dead. Because the thing is, like, you're supposed to believe that these guys are really doing this to each other. And I showed you that clip of the guy doing the flip off the top rope through the table. That should have killed him. No, that wasn't even the end of the match. Oh. You know, like just
Yeah.
So yeah, and it is, and I don't want to hear. Oh, excuse me, sorry, folks. It was a shitty night's sleep in the hotel last night. I don't want to hear. Well, there's more stuff to watch these days. Okay, maybe there is, but guess what? We still had a satellite when I lived in Mackenzie. We had a satellite dish. We had 400 channels of TV of crap to choose from. Wrestling was still through the roof. A lot of people had these channels as well. So don't give me that bullshit.
Yeah.
So it's just a shitty product. But I hate when people like say that, wrestling's fake. Oh, sorry. Robert Downey Jr. really is an Iron Man. You know that, right? It's for entertainment purposes. Right? And I don't get the spoiling of wrestling stuff. Like these wrestling websites that like tell like the secrets that are going to come, like, because people like spread this gossip and stuff. Like, how pissed off would you be if, like, at the time when Avengers was on, you came on and somebody said exactly what happened at the end of Avengers? You'd be pissed.
Yeah.
With any movie you like, if somebody ruins it for you, come back, and you're just like, oh, like, why would you tell me that? Right? So, just stupid.
It's a form of sadism.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Friendly reminder to everyone, taxes are due by Friday, April 30th, and there are no extensions.
Got them done.
Yeah, I haven't got mine done yet.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kim just does ours.
Really?
Yeah, she just does them on TurboTax.
Oh, okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. No, Turbo. It's pretty simple. I had a pretty good chunk of change back. So
nice.
But I usually get extra money taken off. So shit. Oh, my leg hurts. But yes, back to work hopefully next week. So
nice.
Yeah.
Good.
So is there anything else you would like to discuss, Mr. Borrowman?
I wanted to mention this on the other show, but of course we never got to it. I found this article from news.berkeley.edu.
Hold on.
Is Ryan still around?
I don't know if he's still here or
not. So the title of the article is Feeling Bad About Feeling Bad Can Make You Feel Worse. So it's like a downward spiral. And I only copied 2 sentences from the article because I think that really encapsulates what they're talking about. The pressure to feel upbeat can make you feel downbeat. Embracing your darker moods is better in the long run, psychology researchers found. So what they're saying is don't try and be happy, joy all the time. It's okay to feel down in the dirt. It's okay to feel depressed every once in a while. The human condition is, especially psychology, is rife with going up and down. Nothing wrong with it. You'll feel better eventually. So that's why there's nothing wrong with listening to doom metal and dark ambient music and watching movies like Hostel and Thanatomorphose. Embrace it. Science says so. Yeah.
Breaking news, and I just happened to open up my Facebook, and this is one of my favoriteest memes ever. So this is from the website thehill.com. Elon Musk partner says he could build the real Jurassic Park with generally engineered dinosaurs. There is literally 5 movies that say this is a bad idea. Like, seriously, like 5 of them.
But come on, man, it could be cool. We should do it anyway. It's just a movie, man.
The co-founder of Elon Musk's company Neuralink tweeted on Saturday that the startup has the technology advances and savvy to create its own Jurassic Park. We could probably build Jurassic Park if we wanted to, Max Hodek tweeted Saturday. Wouldn't be genetically authentic dinosaurs, but shrugs emoji. Oh, fuck. Maybe 15 years of breeding engineers could get super exotic novel species. Okay. Listen here. I know there's only 3 people watching this, and this guy was never going to see this. I almost said a bad word, and I didn't. If you're putting a shrug emoji in your statement about making dinosaurs, you're a douche canoe. Use big boy words. An emoji. Good Lord. Again, 5 movies say that is a terrible idea. Absolutely atrocious. Gah. Anyways. Was there anything else? Again, I have nowhere to go. So if there's anything else you'd like to cover, criticize.
Yeah, you shared with me on driving.ca a double your fun article.
Doubling the fine.
Fine.
It was double the fun. Oh, I don't know which one that was. I just shared one. I will read that one though.
Yeah. Because that's just stupidity incarnate.
Now, I did mention the gentleman's. Well, for sakes, we'll call this guy's name Kevin M. Oh, wait, that's too obvious. K. Mackey. That's what we'll call him. Well, that was Simpsons, remember? We'll call him B. Simpson. No, that's too obvious. We'll call him Bart S. I gotta find it. Okay. So this motorist, I'm not sure it was because this guy. So Saskatoon driver nabs 2 tickets in 20 minutes. This motorist was hit with $776 speeding ticket and then was stopped not even half an hour later and stuck with a $580 fine for distracted driving. So this is pretty good, actually. I've got 2 tickets to paradise. Won't you pack and leave? This is how it starts. I've got 2 tickets to paradise. Won't you pack your bags? We'll leave. Oh, no, forget it.
Not even any money ID.
Can help. No, it says here. This is the article says. Not even any money could help with this Saskatoon driver out. So yeah, the last day of February, they dinged this guy twice. This to me, your license should be gone.
Yes.
Okay. No, just hold on. The first one. He was doing 108 in a 60 zone. Gone. Why was this guy even allowed to continue driving down the road?
Exactly. Should
have been gone. And then, 20 minutes later, they got him distracted driving. Another $580 fine. So this is why I brought up the gentleman's name earlier. We were going to Prince George. Now, see, Mr. Borrowman will remember this. Where are the 2 speed traps when you're going from Mackenzie to Prince George?
Isn't there one near Bear Lake and the other near Cloud Lake?
Got them both.
All right.
So the gentleman I just mentioned got dinged for a speeding ticket at the Cloud Lake. And then when we got to Bear Lake, he got another one. The second gentleman at Bear Lake, when the officer comes up, and my head's down like this. The officer looks in and says, "Got any tickets lately?" Looks back at him and goes, "Matter of fact, not too long ago." The officer said, "Yeah, 21 minutes ago, actually, to be precise." So it's 21 minutes. I think that's what he said. Yeah, two speeding tickets. Yeah. He shouldn't have even been able to drive away after the first one.
Exactly.
She should have been hooked and done. It's ridiculous.
Speaking of ridiculous, there's an article that I want to share, and I should have done this quite a while ago. Cup holder strikes again. So second BC driver slapped with distracted driving ticket. So of course you got to read the article. Vancouver Island man says he was given a ticket for having his phone in his cup holder. Remember, this is the second time this has happened in less than a month. He was stopped at a red light. The The phone was face down, plugged into a USB charger, and connected to his work van stereo via Bluetooth, as his employer requires. So he's going to get a ticket for it. He tells the officer, I'll dispute it. You probably have a good chance. Fuck. It was hooked up properly through the Bluetooth system. So hands-free, answering any calls, no problem. Is it illegal to have a cell phone stored in your cup holder while driving, he asks. And yes, so the first time this happened, a lady in Richmond was slapped with a $368 fine for this.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it's stupid. And, you know, distracted driving, we hear about judges who interpret current law or for particular situations, or they interpret law for current situations. So do police officers. However, the wide berth of how distracted driving could be interpreted can apply in pretty much any context. So you touch the radio, distracted driving. You touch the air conditioning, distracted driving. You roll down the window, distracted driving. The fuck's the point?
Yeah, I don't like, and that's the interpretation, right?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, they just
Like,
seem to be trying to collect money.
Well, yeah, and that's and it's hard to argue that they're not trying to collect money, because that's if that's the second time that, and they're not, it's not in their hands, it's down in the cup holder. But then you ask the same officer then, okay, well, when you reach for your two-way radio or you go to turn your sirens on, is that distracted driving?
Now, see, what I've heard from the officers, not directly from the officers, but it's okay when they do it because it's all part of their job. So because they got the laptop right beside them, so they could be typing away on that at a red light. They could be on the radio, not considered distracted driving because it's part of their job. It's legal, but if you do it, you're wrong. Yeah.
So that's always kind of what I found funny in it. This with the snow plows, especially a couple of them, they have the double wing. Like you have a wing, you have two joysticks. Like when you're in that truck, you're steering. You used to have to worry about shifting gears. You have two joysticks for your wing and your plow, plus a sander you're trying to deal with. I want to talk about distracted fucking driving.
Yeah.
Right?
But there's only so fast you can go in those things, right?
Well, you're only legally allowed to plow at 60. But still, even going at 30, you can do a lot of damage when you hit something.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Right?
Considering the size and the momentum, yeah.
So
yeah. There's a lot of confusion about what constitutes distracted driving, both because of government messaging and differing interpretations of court rulings. So one judge can say, no, I'm throwing this out. The other one can say yes, and therefore set a precedent. Interpreting the law inconsistently. That makes it like, how are we as citizens to follow the law if it's going to be interpreted in different ways? It's similar to some policies regarding the COVID-19 restrictions. It differs from place to place, from province to province, from country to country. Yeah.
What? Anyway. Well, what's this? What, like, you can't have a what's this? You can't have a magnet mount for your phone? What's wrong with that? Well, why wouldn't I have one of my work truck. I actually don't use it anymore because I hated having the big piece of metal on the back of my phone. It just made it look really shitty. But yeah, why? Huh? That's a new one.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I could do it with this one. Maybe I could make it flat enough that stick okay. Because it was really handy to have. I just hated having the metal. Huh? Maybe I can find a piece of metal. Science. Anyway, sorry. Wow, butterfly. Oh, I see. I was gonna say something too about the laws and. I can't remember what the heck I was going to say. But that's the thing. So, like, well, but then that's everything, Chad. Why are you selling vehicles with Bluetooth in it? If that's going to be considered, why are you selling, like, the little portable speakers? Like, that? Whenever I see someone on a phone now in a vehicle, it gives me it makes my head hurt because you can spend $80 and get like those little Bluetooth speakers they hook to your visors.
Mhm.
No one should be talking on phones while driving.
Exactly.
That's all it is.
Yeah,
But
it's been illegal here in British Columbia for at least the past 2 years, and I still see people doing it, and I don't understand why.
all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. So yeah, okay, you're saying so you can't. Well, I guess technically you shouldn't. I guess technically you shouldn't have any of those holders for your phone.
Yeah.
Like, where's the line? I got to put my phone in my cup, like in my glove compartment, and lock it up so that.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, when you're driving, you should be completely free of distractions so you can do nothing else but drive. And I
Mhm.
understand that point,
I completely agree with that.
but why have Bluetooth and cup holders? Pardon me, cup holders. Yeah, why have cup holders? No one
Fuck
can
'em.
drink. Yeah.
No, I completely. That's just ridiculous and redundant. That's just. Hey, I got a bone to pick. Now I'm looking over at it. Unless you had something else to say, sorry.
No, go ahead.
So, I like to sing. I like to sing a lot. And of course, I've been stuck at home, and I forgot I had downloaded Rock Band for PlayStation 4. Rock Band 4. I'm like, I'm going to break this out. And I downloaded a couple of songs. I downloaded, what the hell did I download again? Like Panama by Van Halen and a couple other songs that I liked. So I sang the song. I was Panama. Anyways, I'm like, well, okay, I'll do some more. And then it brought up the list of the songs that Rock Band had put on there. I know none of the songs. None of the music. I couldn't sing any of the songs because I didn't know them. And a guy that I game with made a point. He says, well, those songs cost money. I think that bands who don't basically let video games use their music these days is silly, or they're silly. I would be like, not saying I'd be for free, but I'd be like, you give me 10 cents for every unit you sell, or like, give me a penny. You sell them, like just for the song. Because I know for myself, and I don't know how many other people can say this, when the original Rock Band and stuff came out, I downloaded quite a few songs that I'd never heard of, and then got deeper into their catalog because I had never heard of these people before, and I really enjoyed their music. So, like, I've always thought bands, especially like older bands, like Zeppelin and Floyd and stuff like that, I'd be licensing my music out for shit. Because then you get little assholes with putting tweets out as, who is this Paul McCartney guy? Man, he should feel blessed that Kanye West let him go on a song with him. And it was the same thing with Post Malone. Who's Ozzy Osbourne? He should be blessed that he's with Post Malone right now. Y'all need Jesus. Good Lord.
The internet is a blessing and a curse. It's more of a blessing because it opens up the world, but it's also a curse because it exposes you to such ignorance.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So, all right. I think we're on fumes here, sir. Unless there's more you want to keep going over, I'm kind of got nothing else.
No, I think this is long enough. So we will end it here. We will be back next Thursday. You know what? Maybe we won't be back next Thursday. Maybe we'll show up on Tuesday. Maybe we'll show up on Saturday. You never know. But
my schedule's open.
Not for long.
No,
once you get back into it. Yeah.
Actually, I'm not hungry at all.
What,
No,
is
I'm
something
not hungry.
burning? No, okay.
No, I got like a booger. Don't you hate when you get a booger? And you're just like, oh, I think no. Oh, no, now it's like stuck. Oh, shit. And you're like,
You're pushing it in and it hurt.
like, it hurts. It hurts when I push it.
Well, I'm going to end on this meme I created because at this point I don't share anything on Facebook, so I might as well throw it up here. So I thank the 5 or 6 or 7 people who are with us for most of the way, and the 3 that are left. Thank you so much for sticking with us, sticking with 2. Well, I guess you could call them old guys at this point, even though we're not that old. We're not boomers, but we're getting over the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good call.
So thank you all very much, and we'll end on this.